I want to hear John Wick before I start talking about Upgrade.
Okay. So watched John Wick over the holiday break, and so I watched it with Brooke, our stepsister,
Mm-hmm.
and we knew what was going to happen with the dog. Like we knew it, and we're like, don't get attached, don't get attached. It's so cute. Why is it so damn cute?
Its
And so
name
we're
is
trying not to.
Daisy.
I know, our first dog's name. So I knew not to get attached, but it was just such a cute dog. And so that like started tearing me up, even though I knew it was coming. You didn't even really have that long to get attached. They didn't really waste time with anything. Like you got like his wife, the sickness, the death, the dog, like right away. Like there was no like building it up for an emotional like tearing your heart out. It was like, okay, this is what's happened. Okay, now we're getting to all the killing. There was no like slow build up.
What
It was
about Theon? What about Theon?
um I I didn't like so Theon's character in Game of Thrones would always annoyed me from beginning to end.
Okay.
Did not care at all for Theon.
Okay.
Same thing with this
Okay,
character.
good.
Like
I was about to say it's the same fucking guy.
it is. It's the same whiny, entitled little bitch that you're just like, you know what? I'm okay if you die. I'm totally okay with it. So did not care about his character dying. Obviously, you're supposed to be rooting for John Wick the whole time.
Yeah.
So the gun violence,
The
gore
gun fu.
nut-
The gun
the
fu.
gun food.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Definitely.
let me speak accurately. Loved it. I mean, all of the shooting, the fight choreography.
Mhm.
I love so in the house when they all come to kill him.
Yeah.
And then he just calls the cleanup people, and they just come and they clean everything up. Like, oh, you're back, and he was like, no, I'm not back. And I was like, oh, this is just totally normal.
Did you like the cop? Did you like the cop that came up to the door and like looked in and saw the body and was
Yes!
like, "You working again?"
Oh my god.
You enjoyed that?
Yes, I thought it was hilarious. I was like, oh, is he not going to see any of the blood? No, he sees the blood, the dead body. Okay, he's just okay with it. He's just like, never mind.
It's Baba Yaga. Nobody fucks with Baba Yaga. You're either friends or enemies with him. And
Yeah.
when I say that, I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit. What do you think of the bouncer outside of the club when John Wick came up behind him and was like, "Did you lose weight?" And he was like, "Yeah, 40 pounds," you know. And he's like, "I think you should take the night off." It's the respect that he has in that culture that is again one of the beautiful things about that movie. Go ahead and continue. I want to continue to hear your review about the first time watching John Wick.
So you're right. It was the respecting, like, you know him, and either you are going to, you know that you can either walk away and or be a friend of his or a colleague or just like, hey, you do you, or you're going to die, and there's no in between in it. What was the? Oh goodness, you threw me off when you jumped ahead. Oh, the hotel. So they've tried to make movies about that type of hotel, like crime-free, safe hotel area that I don't think did as well. This was just such subtle. Like I love the hotel stuff. I love the coins. I was a little confused. What were the coins for? Like, how many do you get? When do you get more?
It's a currency. It's a currency within the system, but it's basically if you take care of a job, they probably give you a coin. And the coin is basically universal currency for almost anything. And so you'll get more explanation, not necessarily about the coin itself, but how they're used. And you saw them used from everything from a drink to a hotel room to cleaning up a body. So it's a universal coin. And as you watch the series, it actually becomes, it's not a main thing, but you just kind of learn about that culture more and more. And you said you like the hotel, which I'm very happy you like the hotel because, again, as you watch the series, the hotel gets fleshed out a little bit. You kind of learn more about it's all about, this movie is about who John Wick is and establishing the culture of the environment that he's been around his entire life and the conflict between those two. And
it wasn't meant to be a sequel, right? Like it was just meant to be a one-off movie, but it was so like such a cult classic so fast, and they were like, oh, 4 years later, let's make a sequel.
Mm-hmm.
That did really well. 2 years later, let's make another one, and then they already have another one in the works.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the hotel. The Perkins, with her, she was in Agents of Shield. She played Bobby Morrison.
Oh, the hot murderer.
Yeah.
That shot the guy in the hotel room with the pillow that did nothing.
Like when she broke her thumb and then she got out and she puts the pillow and like shoots him over it. I was like, damn.
And then you saw the consequences to that immediately.
Yes, that was like she had to have known she was gonna die for that. Like she had to have known.
Yeah. Unless she was a rookie. Didn't seem like it because she knew John Wick.
And his friend that was hired at the beginning,
William Dafoe.
I just always remember him from Spider-Man.
Yeah, William Dafoe. William Dafoe.
Yeah, William Dafoe. So you didn't know, like, he's a friend, and then he gets hired to kill him, and then, you know, he's looking at him through the gun. You're like, is he gonna take him out? And then he shoots the pillow, and he warns him multiple times. Like, he saves him twice or whatever, but it leaves a little bit of doubt. Like, is he gonna save him or is he not? Is he wanting to save the kill for himself, or like what's gonna? And then at the end, you're like, okay, good. He is on his side. There is a true friendship there. Mm-hmm. And then he dies, and I'm like, oh, is this gonna be the sequel? And then they take care of that in that movie, and I was like, okay, nope, love this. Like, you're not leaving any loose ends. I was with the way that it ended, because it ended with him just like kind of walking away from the scene, like all bloody, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. So there wasn't any like happy bow tie ending or whatever. It just kind of walked away. Like, so I don't know where they go from a sequel with this. I'm sure they could come up with something.
Do assassins have bow tie happy endings?
No.
Okay.
Of course not. He killed a lot of people. I'm sure somebody wants revenge. Or somebody thinks they can take him.
We don't know. You've only seen John Wick 1, so we don't know.
I liked it though. I am looking forward to watching the second and third one. When the fourth one comes out, depending on how I like the second and third one, I'll probably see it in theaters. But I can definitely see why it became so popular.
Mm-hmm.
I get it.
Right.
It was a good movie. Like you said, gung fu is what you call it?
Gun fu. Instead of kung fu, it's gun fu. Yeah. And it's just so fucking beautiful. It gets better and better because they hone that skill and that art style. And I call it an art style because it is painting with blood. It is glorious.
Yeah, well, the third one, when it came out, there was talk about adding a stunt section into like the Oscars and other award shows because of John Wick 3. Obviously, I haven't seen 2 or 3 yet, but I can tell by that it's going to be escalated with each movie.
Gotcha. All right, my turn?
Yes. What did you think of Upgrade?
My homework assignment was Upgrade. It's a movie that I was interested in when I saw the trailer. No idea where the hell I saw the trailer. It was probably YouTube or something like that at one point. But when I saw the trailer, I was like, that looks fucking fun. Because, again, it's Upgrade. It's almost like the character leveling up. I'm a gamer. Look at my fucking Space Invader shirt. Come on now. I spent 12 hours playing Path of Exile last night on hardcore mode. So I'm a little out of it. But Upgrade was one I was always interested in. I started watching it. I got about 2/3 of the way through, apparently, and just stopped. I don't know what distracted me. I'll blame my children for this. But it was... when I started watching it this time, and this is a movie you should not watch with your children, and I say that because I watched it with my children.
Oh my God, both of them?
Yes.
Oh my
God. So we're sitting there watching, and I knew the majority of the movie, so I told them when to kind of look away and stuff. The only scenes they were disrupted by was, the murder scenes. But it was... Emma, my 13-year-old daughter, was really into the movie. She was keen on the things going on. She was calling the shots. She called the ending, or almost the ending, from the beginning when she hit it. She's like, they hired him. That was, the guy didn't have a gun. I mean, the whole 9 yards. But the setup, when I first started and this time watching it, I knew the wreck had been done by some kind of hack. And once it got put in his neck and he started walking and he was able to communicate with it, being able to finally not be a quadriplegic, I knew that either another form of him or another version of him is what caused the wreck in the first place. It got to the point where they showed him shoot. He said, "I shot you in the back with a medical tool." And when he shot him in the back, that's when it clicked. Like, okay, he was the actual target. She was just an accessory to the whole thing. And it was almost like she was a bonus. And the fight scenes were phenomenal. I actually really enjoyed it. The camera work is one thing I really liked in that, because it was almost like they had a camera attached to his hip, but about 4 feet behind him. So when he was moving around and doing the janky fucking movements and shit, it actually really kind of moved with him without kind of a delay or smoothness to it. And it felt like a robot, because it was, like that shit, So I really liked how they implemented the camera work with the actual action itself. I like the technology in the future, but there were things that it did kind of throw me off about it. Just some of the cars were drivable, some of them weren't. They were all accessible on the road. Some he could hack, others he couldn't. It was a great movie through and through. But the thing that kind of stood out at the end was the twist. And I love movies with twists, because when you see the movie building up and you know where it's going to go. Like I said, my 13-year-old daughter called it out. But at the end, it hits that, and she's like, I called it, and then it turns again. That's what I like, that extra turn.
I knew you would like it, which I was so shocked because you didn't finish it the first time. And I was like, you didn't get to, like, the best part. And, like, the fact, the fight scenes, I love the fact that, like, he was still talking with the AI while his body's doing all these things that he has no control over. Yeah. And I like his facial expressions when he's doing that, because he's just like...
He's like, sorry, apologize.
I thought the actor was amazing. I thought he did a very convincing job through the whole movie. And I haven't seen it in a while. I didn't rewatch it this weekend. But... I very much enjoy, and like I said, the first time I saw him, I thought he was Tom Hardy, the first half of the movie, and then I realized, I'm like, wait, that's not Tom Hardy, is it? Like, he looks so much like him.
Yeah, discount Tom Hardy. But he did an extremely good job. The fight scenes were amazing. The ending, that twist, was phenomenal on there with basically he got what he wanted. At the beginning, he tried to kill himself afterward, and then there was another part where I think they were talking about... when they were in the virtual reality, he was getting his mind hacked to be able to cut off the communication. He said, "Why do people live like that? Because they're in the virtual world 24/7." And he's like, "It's easier to live in a fake world than the real world." And at the end, and he goes, "That's fucking bullshit, or that's fucking stupid." At the end, that's literally what happens. He gets to live in a fake world.
But he chooses it.
Yeah.
He also chooses it.
That was beautiful.
Complete control.
That was beautiful at that. But when he's laying in the bed, he wakes up.
I liked it. It was such a human decision to make. It wasn't like, oh no, I'm going to do the right thing, and the right thing is to fight this AI because he's going to go around killing people and doing whatever he wants. He's like, no, I'm a selfish human, and I just want to be with the person I love and not deal with all this bullshit.
When he woke up in the hospital bed, it clicked with me. It did not click with my daughter. She went, "Was it all a dream? Because that's BS." And I was like, he's got the wedding ring on, and his wife's going to walk in the door. And she walked in the door. And when she walked in, my daughter's all confused and everything. And I'm like, I was like, yeah, it's happened. And then he's sitting there just all happy, and he can move and everything, and he's hugging his wife, and basically he's fucking dead. But he's given up. He's not dead, but he's given up his mind. So at least the AI is not a fucking dickhead and made it hell for him in his own head, and then took over the body. It gave him something so he won't fight. He's happy, so he's not going to fight. It reminds me of a Superman movie. Or Superman comic. There was literally a thing that they attached to the bodies of all the Justice League, and it gave them the perfect life and perfect world, and the only one to break out of it was Batman, because it realized, I'm not supposed to have my family. I'm not supposed to have my parents. This isn't right. So I liked that, because after that it was just like, I'm going to populate the world. It was like Terminator shit going down. But that double twist at the end, when it turned, I was like, the VR, everything's set up for this. I really enjoyed it. I should have finished it the first time around. But so far, so good. I'm going to give you a 1-for-1 on requesting movies for me.
Okay, so we both give each other a thumbs up. We both approve of the other one's choice for week 1.
Yep.
All right.
You can't go wrong with fucking Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves for president, as Finger said in chat.
Yeah, I saw that.